on this episode of Concrete Reality TV.
Who would get the most spankings? I'm
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's gonna ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the worst child?
Yeah,
that,
which
that
one?
just
I don't know. If Mama was alive, you probably have to ask her.
mhm.
I worked and everything, basically, but I can't tell you who got the most spankings. You would have to ask them, really.
Mhm.
Concrete reality.
We are family.
What elementary school did you go to in First Ward? I'm assuming it was First Ward then.
Well,
and
I think it was Third Ward, really.
By the time
like
it
I
was-
said, we moved. So I went to Dotson Elementary School.
okay.
hmm
Does that still
That's
exist?
what I was gonna happen. I was like, is it
Dotson,
still like
I don't. It may or may not exist. It may not even be an elementary school now because they've changed up so much now.
Mhm.
But it's like over across the Gulf Break Freeway.
Oh, okay. Route
That's where
45.
Dotson
across.
used to be.
What about middle school? What were those years like?
I went to Ryan Junior High after Dotson.
hmm
I was a quiet. I wasn't a very active child. Not as far as school. I was quiet in school.
So you
From
weren't
Dotson.
involved in any major red activities or anything like that, or
When I got to Jack Yates, that's when I did participate in. It wasn't a major race. I can't remember what they called it, but we didn't do any dancing. We just basically sat in the stands and sort of cheered on the.
shit on the football
Okay.
team. But how high school years? Interesting. How were those years for you? You mentioned you were quiet and reserved.
I was really quiet. I didn't even have any friends. I think I might have had one friend. Her name was Barbara Davis.
Mm.
And then she was quiet too. So we were just like two quiet
Peas in the pod.
Yeah, quiet. But basically, when you left Dotson Elementary, everybody flowed into Ryan. And then after Ryan, after we left junior high, then everybody sort of parted ways as far as Jack Yates. So I met a whole different bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
But even there, I was quiet. You could hardly. I don't even think those teachers remember me because I was so quiet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember people mentioning that Felicia Rashad and Debbie Allen went to Yates with you guys. Was that with y'all class, or was that ahead or behind y'all?
That was Marion's class.
Oh, that was Marion's class.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Felicia Rashad, I think she might have graduated before Marion.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay,
her
because she was
sister,
older.
Debbie Allen, she went to school with at the same time Marion did.
Okay. So you were a freshman probably when Marion was the senior.
Marion had graduated. Yeah, she had graduated by the time I got to.
Oh, okay. So it's just you and Barbara.
So,
Barbara, she didn't like going to school. Period. So.
Oh, okay. She didn't care
But
about
she
school like
had
that.
to go, she didn't have no other choice, but she didn't
Mhm.
take care of school.
mhm.
Did Sandra go to Yates?
Sandra, she dropped out of school.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember.
She went as far as Ryan,
Mhm.
and Sandra, she was, she didn't stay. Well, when she did go to school, she would skip school.
Mm.
But she basically she left school. She quit.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
What did what Mama say about that? And when she
Oh.
when
Well, back then, there was a grapevine, and from Dotson, from elementary to Ryan, and so all the teachers sort of knew one another because there was a close neighborhood. So when Sandra would skip school, somebody would see her, or either the truant officer, he would see her, and they would call Mama.
Mm.
And so once they called Mama, she, She got on Sandra, but Sandra still, she's still
buck the system, huh?
Mm-hmm.
She was a natural rebel.
Yes, somewhat. Yeah, she was somewhat a rebel. Yeah.
So what do you remember about your sister, Sandra, the most?
Not a whole lot, because like I said, Sandra, I think when puberty hit Sandra, she just started doing a whole lot of things she shouldn't have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got pregnant with our first niece, Deetra, when she was 13.
Wow. It's a teenage mother, for real.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, do you remember as far as if you guys were in public housing?
No, we were never in public housing.
Okay, so you got she when she got the house, was that a house y'all guys moved into in Third Ward, or was that an apartment unit again?
We moved to one house that was like on Sampson and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
That was a house. Then we moved to Hadley. That was an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we were on Hadley before Scott and Sampson. I can't remember the years. I couldn't give you years or a timing on any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we lived in two houses, one on Scott, one on Sampson. And then from Scott, we moved to Senegas to take care of our daddy's aunt. And when she passed away, well, she had put us out of her house after we had taken care of her when she was sick.
Wow.
And so that's when Mama moved out here to South Park.
With when y'all guys moved to South Park, was that a mixed neighborhood, or was that predominantly black? Because I know they were still.
Basically, it was still some Caucasian people in the area, but not a whole lot.
Okay.
Basically, once they started moving out.
And white flight.
Mm-hmm. Basically, we were moving in, and they started moving out, farther out.
Wow. Yep. That follows the history of that pattern. That white flight, and you got Negroes are moving in.
Yeah,
and,
white folks
was flying out.
The South Park era.
Oh yeah. Forgot. Before you go there, Cutter,
go ahead.
You had a question from the family chat.
Okay, we got a question.
So I have a question that says, how did you feel at a young age taking care of your younger sisters, brothers, and your niece?
How did I feel? It was fine. It was okay, because our mama, she taught us she taught us about being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were coming up, everybody was responsible for something in the house, or else Mama would, whenever she would come in, she would get everybody up to see who was responsible for doing whatever was needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically when we moved again, and then all the other, babies born, then that responsibility sort of fell on us. So it wasn't an issue with me at all, because we knew what our responsibilities were.
Mm. Were y'all allowed to spank?
We did. Mama, allowed us to do that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like it, but that was our that was a part of the responsibility. I don't think I spanked anybody that much.
Who would get the most spankings? I'm sure somebody's gonna ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the worst child?
Yeah, which one?
I don't know. If Mama was alive, you probably have to ask her.
Mm-hmm.
I worked and everything. Basically, but I can't tell you who got the most spankings. You would have to ask them, really.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your, I guess with your older siblings, did you have a favorite that you got along with better than the others?
I got along well with Marion. I got along well with her, but I got along pretty good with all my brothers and sisters. I really didn't have an issue with anybody.
Give me your best memory with Marion Edwards.
When she got her car, her Duster, and we began to travel. We used to go to different places.
Mm-hmm.
And Marion was not afraid to drive long distances. And we would, be packed up in her car, and she didn't mind spending money. She was free-hearted. She was very free-hearted. And I enjoyed being with her during those times, just traveling, and nobody complained about anything. We all just got in that one car and and we just started driving. Sometimes we never knew where we were going to end up at, but she just started driving. Those were my best times with her.
Wow.
That's an awesome thing. Awesome thing.
You know, you didn't touched on it, so we got to dig in on this one a little bit. So you mentioned driving. When did you want to start driving, or did you ever want to start driving?
Well, I think I was spoiled because even the other kids, you know, when they started, you know, they got older, they were driving probably before me. But I think once I started wanting to drive, I can't remember what age I was, but I just, like I said, I was spoiled. Mm-hmm. Anywhere I wanted to go, was always somebody there to take me. I never had to worry about driving.
Had an in-house Uber.
Exactly. Yep.
Basically, so like I said, I didn't have the desire because it was never there, because I always had someone to take me where I needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, because there is a rumor that I think we still have not confirmed, but when this was at the second house, of course, on 7006 Thrush, when you guys were staying in that house, or we were all staying in that house, the rumor is that you ran into the garage.
That was Barbara. That wasn't me.
Oh.
That was Barbara Ann ran into
Wait a minute. So
no, it wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Oh, wow.
How did that happen?
I cannot remember. That was you. That was. I can't even remember what happened. All I know is she ran into the garage.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. No,
so that's why it was boarded up for that long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So for our viewers, just to let y'all, you guys know that where we lived, we had a garage, but we didn't have a garage door. We had a boarded up, wooden something,
whatever it was.
So we never, it was just boarded up, and we always wondered when we came into the world and we had moved into that house, like,
what happened?
We got wood on the garage door, and it stayed like that for years.
Years and years.
I think until it didn't get changed until after I was gone. So I left when
after I was gone.
Oh, wow. So, that's crazy. Wooden garage boarded up.
Mary had talked about it for some years. She said she was going to get a garage door put on there. And that just never came about, I guess, until we were gone. And next thing you know, it's a garage door. And I was like, kind of bitter about that. I was like, why y'all wait till we leave?
When you start getting the garage door on there, everybody laughing at us.
Yeah, everybody laughing at us. Y'all got a board for the garage.
We thinking it's normal. We was like, no, you supposed to have an actual door.
She probably didn't know we used to get teased about that as as kids. We used to get teased about that. Y'all got a cardboard. What is that? Cardboard or wood? Y'all ain't got no garage. What kind of house is this? And we'd be like, shut up. Senior year in high school at Jack Yates. What do you remember about that? Were you working back then too, or you just going to school?
I was working. We had a class, 3-hour class, and after the 3-hour class, which was dressmaking, I was able to leave with a work permit. So I was working in Sharpstown.
Oh, okay. You're working in the mall.
Well, it wasn't exactly a mall then.
Back then, they were still building on it.
On the corner of Fondren and something.
Okay.
And so that's where I was working. I would work from the time I left school, and then I get off like at 10 at night, and I'd ride the bus home.
Riding the bus home. Back then, I'm pretty sure it was easy because of the crime rate was not that crazy.
No,
so
it wasn't bad.
So you would be at 10 o'clock at night riding the bus from all the way from the southwest side of Houston to South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what, 3 buses or 2 buses?
Well, it wasn't South Park. We were still, when I graduated, we were not in.
Oh, y'all was still in Third Ward.
Third Ward.
Mm-hmm.
So how many buses did you catch to have to go to work back then?
I think I caught 2 buses.
Mm-hmm.
I caught 2 buses. So I would get home like 11 or something like that.
Wow.
So you have to have any issues with the neighborhood thugs or anything like that?
No, I didn't have any issues. I would get off the bus and pass by this place. It used to be called the Red Lily Q.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they used to hang out at, basically. And I'd get off the bus and just walk on down to the apartments. We stayed on Hadley then.
Mm-hmm.
So I got off at Dowling at Hadley.
Mm-hmm. I think Mama probably had some pull, like, y'all don't mess with my daughter.
Exactly. Everybody knew who you were.
Everybody knew who you were.
You Helen's daughter.
Nobody really bothered you. They didn't bother you.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't never afraid to ride the bus because nobody ever bothered me.
Back then, it wasn't like that. It was, it was normal. People were traveling. It was normal for people to travel all times of night because they were working and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So after high school, did you desire to be in military or anything like that? What was your right after high school, after you graduated?
After high school, I did try to get into the Army, but they wouldn't take me because I was too little.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to be over 100. I think I weighed about 100.
Wow.
Pounds. I was little. Short and little.
Too small, huh?
Yeah, they told me I was too small, and the recruiter told me to go home and eat as many bananas I could eat.
But, say more bananas.
But that didn't help. I went in and weighed again. They told me I was just too small.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, what life would have been like? What would that have been like if you would have been to the military? We probably wouldn't be here.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
So after you decide they rejected you from the military, what were you doing then? What was the plan after that?
I really didn't have any plans. I wish I had plans, but I did go to this nursing school. It was Ryman Nursing School, so I went there and graduated. I believe I got into some programs, but I started Methodist. I started working at Methodist.
Mm-hmm. So after all that, you meet who would soon to be your children's father,
baby daddy,
Lee. Tommy Lee McLeod. How did you meet Tommy Lee?
I met him when I was working at Princess Drive-In, and I think I was like 19 years old when I met him.
Oh wow! So he caught your eye, you caught his.
No, he caught I caught his eye.
Mm-hmm.
He had been to Vietnam. He was an older guy, so. He knew more than I did. I was a little naive child. I didn't know no better. Yeah. Thought I had found, thought he might have been the guy. He wasn't the guy. He was just
running game.
Yeah, like I say, he knew more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I was a little naive young lady.
And he was a handsome, dark-skinned
brother. Yeah, he looked good. He was a good-looking guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen those older pictures. He was handsome.
Yeah.
Good-looking guy.
I mean, look what he produced. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Y'all did a good job.
Yeah.
So how was y'all's friendship? Was it more so off and on?
It was.
Did y'all date?
I could say it was like off and on. We did go out, but he would take me like places like a Dewdrop Inn or something like that.
What is what?
It's like
Dewdrop Inn, little like a nightclub. It wasn't even quite a nightclub.
Oh, okay.
That's hole in the wall.
Called it a Dewdrop Inn.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Were you drinking back then, or did you drink, or?
I wasn't really a drinker. He would order beer or something like that. I tried to drink beer. I never was a beer drinker, but I never was a drinker.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did go out, Mary and Mama let us go out. I would do like, I don't even know if they do Tom Collins anymore, but they would have this drink called a Tom Collins.
Mm-hmm.
But when Mama did let us go out, we were able to go out in a cab, and we were supposed to come back in a cab together, and that's what we did. But she did let us go out.
Oh, so Marion was y'all accompanied each other on these outings with
Yeah, we go
okay.
out. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we go. I would dance then. I can't remember Marion dancing, but I know I did like to dance. Yeah. So we used to have sock hops and everything. That's what they used to call it back in the day, sock hops. And but we learned how to dance when we were in elementary school. Two-step, swing, everything. They taught us how to dance.
Oh, so they taught y'all how to dance in school.
Yeah.
We didn't learn that. We learned that from video. So
Exactly. Exactly. Like, man, how do they do that?
You had your first child, Ephraim Elon Edwards.
January 22nd, 1975 at Jefferson Davis Hospital.
Yeah.
How was that experience, having your first child?
It was a quiet thing with me, having a baby.
Quiet. What do you mean quiet?
As quiet as far as in labor, it wasn't a hard labor with neither one of y'all. So all I know, I remember them telling me to push, but it was never. There wasn't hard labor for me.
Was that a shocker to the whole family that you were pregnant?
I don't think it was a shocker. I don't know. I don't know. It was just something that happened. With you being born, and then Chris 2 years later, him being born. But it's when you have a relationship. Back then, it was like just having babies from that relationship. It wasn't
a big thing. It was
it wasn't
kind of normal.
Humongous thing. Mama, it was almost like Mama knew, somewhere along the way I was gonna get pregnant because I was, with this man, Tommy Lee.
Does she have any issues with y'all relationship, or anything that she may have warned you about, or how mothers can be protective over their daughters?
Well, she looked at me mostly, and I don't think she'd have to say anything, but she looked at me like, well, this is not going anywhere. She didn't basically have to say anything, but this mama stare, when he would come to the house. Like, no, this is not going anywhere, because it's like
she didn't care.
Done that.
She didn't care for him too much.
It's not that she didn't care for him, but he was married. So she had gone through this relationship with a married man. So basically, it was like, okay, I see where this is going. So what could she tell me? I had made up my mind. I'm having this sexual relationship with this man, and basically what's going to happen? You get pregnant. So I got pregnant twice.
So she already knew what was going to happen before it even happened. She had been down that road before.
Yeah, she'd been down that road, yeah.
Wow. So curious, I know this is a little touchy, it can be. So with Tommy Lee, did you know he was married when you started dating him?
He wasn't married when I first started dating him.
Okay.
In fact, he was single, and I began to know his family, Annie Jewel, and the twins and everything, his mother, his brother, sisters. I began to know them, but he ended up not, marrying me. He ended up marrying someone else.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that one.
I did.
I say I'm behind the 8 ball on that one.
I knew that because when I would come around and they all knew Ivory. He used to bring Ivory around all the time, and they used to mention your name. And they say he ended up with, I forget her, Tommy Jr.'s mom and Dee Dee's mom. But yeah, I remember that when they told me that.
Did you plan on marrying him, or you kind of knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere?
In the long run, I knew it wasn't going anywhere. But he still came around after he got married. Yeah, he came around.
and that's when Chris popped out.
Yeah. That's when Christmas came.
As they call me, the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All his sisters, that's the baby.
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what are they talking about? The baby. So question, even we were born and raised, in the same home, grew up together and everything. But one thing I noticed at that time that a lot of parents, single mothers, were filing child support because they needed, financial assistance and whatnot. What prevented you from ever pursuing anything like that?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. I just knew my responsibilities. I had 2 sons to take care of. I never thought about, trying to call Tommy Lee or trying to get money from him. I didn't care. All I knew is I had 2 sons, and I knew I was working, and I just didn't, want to go through the hassle of trying to do all that. I was taking care of y'all. That was enough.
Thanks.
Did anyone in the family ever push you or kind of ask you to do it, file it on them? Or mama, did she ever say, hey, where you go?
Okay. No, because mama never did. She never did that either. She worked, and we all worked. As women, we worked.